Well, greetings everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of MBTV News. My name is Mal Burns, and you can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/Mal Burns, MALBURNS, where of course I have been squashed, as is the way of the web. I'm joined here by James Atlloud, who's fiddling with knobs, which basically means he's playing with the audio and playing with the video and playing with the camera positions and everything else. So welcome, James.
Thank you, Mal. Doing the best I can.
Indeed. So today is the something or other of September 25th, I believe. That's right.
It's about the 25th. Yep.
Get that one over before I go anywhere. And yes, these are kind of news headlines from immersive worlds and virtual worlds and immersive spaces, to put it vaguely, and a bit of tech as well, if it has to do with haptics and interfacing. Um, this is meant to be a short edition of the show because we have another program afterwards, but unfortunately, it's more like a long edition, so I'm going to have to get through stuff rather quickly. You'll forgive me, but then again, you'll be able to pick up everything we're talking about. I am pretty sure on that one. So let me just go to one news picks here. Here we go. Here we go. Right. Okay. I've probably forgotten something. I've given you the Twitter account. We also have twitter.com Metaworld News too, but mostly just follow me. And if I get to web links, and I can give out the website, but I can't always give you the full address of the articles. So if you click on links in my Twitter feed, if appropriate, and you want them, you will get direct to the article. Anyway, to move on, I've got a picture on the screen at the moment. This happened during the week, so don't go running around, look at those dates and thinking, hey, that's passed. I know it's already passed, but this is my way of prompting you to let you know it was happening in the week. Gatherverse have been around quite a little bit, but they held this summit in the EU, and it was streaming live, and you are actually able to, far too many sessions for me to publish embeds, but there are a lot of sessions that they did at YouTube. I'm getting quickly to the website as well, which I've got open here. You can see the volume of speakers there that they had, and every time I scroll I get that map coming up at the bottom there. But anyway, it was live at the time, but there's a whole lot of panels there that whatever. When we get to my Mastodon feed later, I think I did include a couple of them. But as you can see, an awful lot of people here, and covering a wide range of subjects from Gatherverse there. So, without further ado, I'm going to remove that item because we don't want it. So I'll just come back to the pictures again. Okay. This gentleman is not very happy, despite the fact that Andy Warhol's been resurrected to do a tribute to him. I do. Yeah, here in Britain, he's been fined about as much money that we need to run the country, I guess. He's not happy. Whether he'll pay it and does pay these things, I don't know. They all seem to have ways around it. You find out a year later, oh yeah, well they did pay their fine, or at least 1% of it. Who knows? Who knows? What else have I got here? Right, picture wise. VR chat, for your interest, has a modified UI with the user interface 2.0, and it's got a new main menu and a heads-up display. And if you use that platform, and if you use Rec Room, they've actually launched a studio now. They've got avatars and all sorts of stuff in there that's powered by Unity. They've got a studio that's like a Unity plugin. If you know Sciencebase and the way they work with a subset of Unity, Rec Room is sort of doing a rather similar thing. Anyway, that's it for that. And just going to play you a few. One of the things that did come this week, we'll look at Stargo's thing a bit later. The new Pico headset. I got 3 clips about that. The reviews are saying it's wonderful and probably put Zuckerberg out of business. I don't know. But anyway, short impression of Sansar, a teaser for something called Menu, and an advert for a series called Decoded at CNN, which we've got the first episode linked to later. So here we are. This is an anniversary of this thing. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's
There is
Mist
no sound,
Island.
by the way.
Yep.
Yeah, it is silent.
Oh,
Oh, bugger.
Mist Island, I said.
Yeah. Ooh, what happened there?
How did Mist become Pico?
Eat your heart out, Disney. The new look Sansar there, and this is next is a preview of something called Menya, MENYR. Let's have a quick lookie. Many. Now that looks very much like a game. The scenery is gorgeous, but looking at the characters, I don't. It's been promoted as a virtual world, but there again, you know, maybe it's just a metaverse these days. Okay, one final thing. This is an advert for a series. It's a four-part series that CNN are doing, and a journalistic series on metaverse. We have an embed code for the first episode, which features Philip Linden as well. So, or Rosedale, I should say. So let's play this, and then we'll get onto some web links.
This month, I'm diving headfirst into the metaverse. This is amazing. Join me as I decipher and demystify the metaverse.
Decoded on CNN.
I saw Arthur's avatar in there. Of course, he's some space guy. Anyway, let me just see. Okay. Virtual Reality Theatre Festivals in 30 seconds or so. Well, I'm not sure that's exactly breaking every boundary, but there you go. They think they are. Right, that would do. Okay, Meta Movie and some other stuff may be coming up later, depending on timing today's, but I'm going to get to show you them. So I'm going to move on to sort of various web links and things. And I suppose that I should, maybe not as many as I thought. Some of these are for later on. Right. Okay. Any of you who use Sciencebase, which is another virtual world, they have a new viewer out called the Orange Viewer, and you can find this link at blog.sine.space. So that's blog.sine.space. And yeah, you can get that there, can't you? Right, this article is at medium.com. It's called The Metaphysical War for the Metaverse, and it says we're already losing it, and wonder why. Okay, we're on our proper view now. Theo, what's his name? He's just called Theo here. He's a prolific Twitterer, for want of a better phrase. And anyway, it's an editorial piece. Well, Medium isn't sort of it's where people take their opinions, isn't it? Rather than actual editorial on behalf of Medium. But anyway, interesting sort of little take on things there. As I say, we're in a bit of a hurry today, so I'm not going to go into anything here in great depth. Early in the week, AR Insider has their new column Spatial Beats, written oddly enough by Charlie Fink. This is like a few days before he moves to the Forbes column, and the day after when he moves to the video thing. Yeah, busy man, I think. I wonder if I'm surprised he has time to teach, actually. Anyway, Spatial Beats it's just looked at some stuff going on in the previous days and whatever. Excellent site to just go ahead and check what's been happening. I'm not going to actually repeat anything here, but you want AR Insider, that's ARINSIDER.co. No comms there, just .co. And now we have a familiar bloke, don't we? Yow! That might be coming. Okay, now when I showed you the pictures a few minutes ago, or the videos rather, three of them were all about Pico. It's been received. There's plenty of other blogs about this in the week. It's going to give. Well, a lot of people are saying it is going to give Quest Pro a run for its money, and it is a consumer-facing product. I don't know if it's exactly a consumer price. I think I saw the price somewhere earlier, and it's it's give it time, give it time. The other prices are going up. Unfortunately, for anybody here in the UK, it's probably going to be very expensive. Following a political event during the week, the politicians are back because the Queen's business is over now. We had a budget, and in the course of about a few minutes, the pound fell in value against the dollar to some record low it's never been at before. And unless it recovers, we're not going to be buying anything from America for for quite a while. I think Apple will have to double their app prices here and stuff like that. So how much the Pico will be over here as well, I really don't know. Oddly enough, the announcements and everything were made over in British time. I don't know where they're based. I don't think they are based here, but anyway. Anyway, positive review. This is actually the Pico 4. And as Scargo said, he did actually do positive reviews of the Pico 3 at an earlier point in time. Oh yeah, they're a Chinese manufacturer, so I don't know, maybe they won't be affected by dollar fluctuations. Who knows? Anyway, you find the Scarghost to SKARREDGHOST.com. So that's another roundup post. Another event that happened in the week, which again you'll find talked about at arpost.co, so that's ARPOST.co, is the Web XR Brand Summit. Now, I didn't give this too much attention because brands and stuff like that tend to be, I'm interested in collaboration and existence rather than brands, but there were quite a lot of stuff here. And they've got an introductory video there, but they also have various other videos online. I think a couple of them I've actually got in the Mastodon feed later, but if I haven't, you can go to arpost.co and read about this summary and follow all these various other links there and to their videos, etc., etc. Right, sound. That's all about sound on in the metaverse. This article's called. It's a site called Muse, but well, I'm going to spell it. I can't pronounce it. MUSEBYCL.io. So it's musebycl.io sort of thing. And basically looking at the future of music in the metaverse. Why it's just a beginning for virtual concerts, etc., etc. Obviously inspired by the MTV Music Awards, where they have one winner in a metaverse performance, although I would argue it's not a metaverse performance at all. It's a sort of avatar video, but there you go. So, just a general look. So Muse by CLIO for that one. Right, and this one is at com.cdn.ampproject.org. So that's comcdnampproject.org. And yeah, not an easy link, but as I say, you can get it on my Twitter feed. A company called Braylon, turning heads with immersive virtual monitors. So their idea is you don't actually need a headset. You can put this thing on your desk and move your chair up close to it, and you can get the same effect. But of course, you don't, do you? I mean, you can see the light, you can see the surrounds on your left and right, and above and below you. You need an encapsulation, a pair of. Even if they're advanced glasses, they need to have the quality of goggles, like old-fashioned swimming goggles or something, to actually seal out the light from from leaking in. That's what the full immersion is all about. Some of you may not want full immersion, so maybe something like this would allow you to, I don't know, prototype, headset gear while you're sitting in the office without a headset. Who knows? But anyway, you'll find this, as I said, at that link, com.cdn.amproject.org. And XR Today, right, moving on up, xrtoday.com. A major report calls for standards on XR metrics. There's standards galore at the moment. This is actually a report. It's not actually part of the standards groups and stuff we've been reporting on fairly recently. It surveyed respondents from September last year through to June this year, and discussed findings among some of the world's top firms, Unity, HTC, Land Rover, and Yahoo, amongst others. So it's a kind of report, and obviously this summary has what you might expect, a summary of that report. So find this at xrtoday.com, xrtoday.com. Moving on up again, we come to Forbes itself, and it's not Charlie Fink's thing, it's another post. The metaverse from a developer's perspective. Somebody called Jason Yim is the founder and CEO of Trigger XR, and they're a development studio, and basically giving you a bit of an insight into the way developers look at these things in very general terms, of course. Right, moving on to uploadvr.com. We'll be back with them shortly because with their video, but they were talking about Quest again, getting in. This is, of course, the Zuckerberg thing. It's got in-world recording resolution, aspect ratio options. So if you make videos and stuff, I'll just turn to James here on the off chance you might have come across this, or obviously being a video man and a Quest user. No silence. So I don't think. Yeah. Oh, it's a bit odd.
Sorry, I was muted. I watched the report on Upload VR, and David Heaney had a good perspective that you can choose the aspect ratio of what's being recorded, and so to get that high definition, you're ending up kind of cropping an image in an unusual way, but because what you presented to your eyes is square. And so, to do HD video, you're trying to do a 16:9 aspect ratio. And then, of course, some people want to do their capture and put it on a cell phone like TikTok format, which is, 9:16. Yeah. So, but it's a great improvement because it does allow a lot more flexibility in how videos are exported from the Quest.
Yeah. So you can basically set a frame within the headset to record in basically 2D, like
sort of. Yeah. You can't see it like we do with Screen Leap. You can't see, but you get to choose vertical, landscape, or square.
Right. Yeah. Landscape, please. I don't know. I'm old-fashioned. Yeah, I'm old-fashioned. I really hate the portrait things, which everybody does because they're too lazy to turn their phone around. So as for the square ones, well, I never knew where those came from because, of course, I don't use headsets. But of course, that explains that one. It's to me, I just don't even bother. But I've seen interesting ones I want to put on the show, and I just can't be bothered with it because square. Come on, it doesn't fit my.
Well, as we say at where I work, you need to meet people where they are. So where your audience is, that's the video you want to present.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. We'll have to become very square, won't we? If we
we are.
If we ever want to broadcast in a headset, God forbid, we will have to become square. As in not skip.
We'll be 16:9 as long as I can. Probably as long as I'm alive.
Right. Sorry, that was meant to be a joke about it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Anyway, I better move on. Anyway, we have square, we have portrait, and more importantly, we have landscape filming available, recording in Quest. Is it just recording or is it broadcast too? Did you notice?
The emphasis was on recording, but you're sending out a stream. So how you choose
it's just a stream.
Well, to a device. And then you could capture it with OBS and retransmit it.
Yeah, I got you.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Right. Now, we saw old Grumpy Face at the top of the show, didn't we? Mm-hmm. With the Andy Warhol look. But anyway, apart from having a problem in Britain, according to the Washington Post, where VR developers accuse Facebook of withholding the keys to metaverse success. Gosh golly! How can he possibly do that? Why would they possibly want to do that? Well, it's all to do with alien mindsets, I guess. If you've got an alien running your company with its own ideas of, well, total nonsense. I don't know. Interesting article, and that's all I'm going to say. WashingtonPost.com. You can't miss a site like that, can you? So, There's nothing here saying opinions are not part of Washington Post or anything. It's clearly a published piece here from midweek.
I don't know how you're
Right,
getting past
moving.
the paywall on that, because Washington Post is a pay-for site.
Right, quite possibly. I may have had I've got enough articles left free of articles left for the month or something.
Yep.
Or it's possible the reader here has picked it up. Because my RSS readers don't always recognize paywalls. They only recognize paywalls when you click on the link to go there.
Mm.
So it depends. It depends. But yeah. Anyway, well, that's the article. I can't guarantee you'll be able to get into WashingtonPost.com, but you can try. So there you go. No time to dwell on it, unfortunately. Okay, here we go again, working my way up here. Metaverse benefits and disadvantages. Again, a sort of summary about benefits and social context, etc. You'll find this at imeta.com. So imeta.com. And talking about people reacting negatively and stuff to things they don't even understand and such like that. It's something I find all the while, So it's like people who write blogs about sort of, hey, the metaverse is the future, and, they themselves have only discovered the metaverse one day earlier and still haven't actually figured out what it is, but they feel empowered to write 100 pages telling us why it's the future. Yeah, come on. Right. Sorry, imeta.com for that one, benefits and disadvantages. Serious stuff to read, of course. Yeah. Vulcanpost.com, vulcanpost.com. And we've got another thing on Zuckerberg here, and not to mention another one-man wonder beside him. Yes, Zuckerberg's bet on the metaverse is a Putin-esque delusion that may lead to Meta's downfall. You'd think he'd be getting some kind of message now, but there again, Putin isn't either. So who knows? Maybe these people are just blank to the reality of situations and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, as they say in the headline there, it's lonely at the top. Yep. There's Zuckerberg. That was, who knows? That one's probably want me to nick leg. And there's the masses, way far below. Political leaders totally out of reach, etc., etc. Anyway, quite a lot of talking here and comparisons, of course, to the real world. The real world. I better move on. It's depressing, that. Moving on to engadget.com, engadget.com. Article on the big technical companies that face UK probes over their cloud services, messenger, and smart speaker dominance. So Ofcom, our regulator here, will be obviously looking at Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, but as it says down here, but well, Amazon, of course, have the speaker, but well, there will be loads more too. I mean, there are a lot of messenger services around. I don't know how carefully they can look at things like Signal and Telegram. They certainly are concerned about them, but I think you can assume that Messenger will be in focus, and Skype will be in focus, and of course, all the rest of them, WhatsApp and everything else. Yeah, don't know what they can do. I mean, especially with something like WhatsApp, which is used by individuals and companies, and it basically is the default phone service everybody uses because it goes over the internet and they don't have to pay cell phone charges on it. Well, as long as they're on Wi-Fi or something anyway. And, people I know don't use any other app, use WhatsApp because it's cheaper to phone people on WhatsApp than on their actual phone number. Anyway, moving on. This is a site called waterandmusic.com. Nice name for a website, isn't it? Waterandmusic.com. And I'm not even going to try and spell that for you because I think most of you have got the brains to work it out for yourself. And if you haven't, then you can see there. Water and music. Although I must say that if you're going on the web, you don't use the and symbol. It's water and music with no spaces. So maybe I should point that out. Okay, 9 design principles for a musical metaverse. So again, related to music in the metaverse. And there's a link here. I should not have clicked it really, should I? But yeah. You get a slide deck here. You can follow if you're actually into that kind of thing. I can't actually fit all that on my screen here, so I just have to go back to where I was. Right, okay, so design principles for a musical metaverse. We must be nearing the end of this lot. I said there were a lot to do. Okay, Engadget again, engadget.com. Meta have been ordered to pay 175 million US dollars in patent infringements. And this fine has come not from the UK, but from Texas. So apparently there's a company called Voxer who developed an app called Walkie Talkie, and they're suing for royalties actually. So I think the idea is here that Fastball will have to, no, say Meta, I should say, get it proper, 175 million, but it's also an ongoing royalty. So that's what they have to pay to date. But I believe that if they want to continue using Instagram Live and Facebook Live, they will actually have to pay royalties as well as that back sum. Happy days for Zuckerberg, really, isn't it? Right, this week in XR, finally we're at Forbes again. This time we've got Charlie Finger's column. It's the regular weekly roundup. He mentioned Braylon and the immersive monitors that I covered a bit, and Pico 4. Pretty obviously his roundup duplicates pretty much a lot of what I've been talking about, but he has a different viewpoint on things, so he covers things that I wouldn't. I find this at Forbes.com, Forbes.com. The next one is all one word here. It's the Architectural Digest, ArchitecturalDigest.com, asking whether your next big break is going to be in the metaverse. Now that's a question, but it's a question being addressed to architects, quite frankly. But I know that a lot of people who come across my blogs and things like that, or maybe watch this show, do have an interest in architecture, either for inspiration for design in virtual worlds, or actually for prototyping their real world architecture in virtual worlds. So that's nice. I don't know what it is about that picture. I like that, and even though I don't know what it's all about, symbolism wise. Anyway, a brief there for architects, really. Right. Yeah, I think that's a home that's been designed in a virtual world, but then built in the real world. So they're covering a bit of everything there, and quite a lot to the article too. So moving on up, Engadgets again. They're popular for me this week, aren't they? engadget.com. NVIDIA's new AI model quickly generates objects and characters for virtual worlds. Well, I don't know what the world is coming to. I don't. No, I don't. I've been moaning about Night Cafe and Mid-Journey and all these AIs doing paintings and putting artists out of business. Well, for those of you who make avatars in Unity or whatever, it's quite possible the way things are going, especially with NVIDIA, that you're not gonna have to design an avatar anymore. You're just gonna tell an AI to do it for you. And before we know it, the AI will actually build you an entire virtual world according to your description and inhabit it for you. Makes life easy in a way. I mean, you can already go to places on the site to get 3D models of things, but usually you have to take them into a bit of software and then convert them to a mesh of some sort that you can use, or indeed animate the mesh or whatever. But a lot of these are just getting ahead at the speed of light. It looks to be a service called Get 3D. That's GET and then the numeral and then D, all in capitals, by the way. Well, except the numeral, obviously. It's the AI can actually generate around 20 objects per second on a single GPU. That's a graphic processor unit, and they use synthetic 2D images using 3D shapes taken from multiple animal angles, for example. And let's see, well, you can read the technical stuff there. NVIDIA, of course, have been doing a hell of a lot with the so-called metaverse recently, and they also have their own platform now that sounds like it's going to be pretty big. Okay, this week also, Voices of VR. I'm probably going to start including podcasts in the Mastodon feed, but there were 3 new ones from Kent By this week. The first one is about Escape. Yeah, that's right. It's something at Venice, actually. Escape. Let me see. There was another one here. 1123. Interactive animation of polarized city from the main square. Don't know why that's looking funny. Anyway. And, okay, this must have come from somewhere else because it's not got the full tag on it. And finally, 1124. Emotionally moving 360 video on Taiwan's White Terror. All of these are prize winners at Venice Immersive. TVtechnology.com. Interesting, this one. TV, TECHNOLOGY. And I don't know what that's meant to be. Metaverse or Metamucil? What's a mucil when it's home? I don't know.
Metamucil is a digestive aid to help you go to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, most interesting. Thank you, James.
You're welcome.
So much for evaporated milk. Okay. Right, okay. The argument here, this is, remember, it's a trade magazine for television, and the metaverse is in conflict with broadcasting. One is a shared experience, the other is not. I don't think it's as simple as this, but they're not, they do go into this, so they're not making a statement there. That's their starting point. So quite interesting topics raised there for anybody who thinks about interfacing in the metaverse and whether it will ever come onto TV in some form. They reckon it will, but it won't be the metaverse that's available in headsets or on the web or whatever. It will be, how do I say, and then more like an online AR. So you'll be watching TV and you'll have a choice of overlays and stuff like that. But anyway, things we don't know what the future holds. It could go any old way, couldn't it? And it looks like if you want to go to that site, you're going to be plagued by pop-ups. But that's life, isn't it? Okay, moving on. It's their fault. Don't like pop-ups here. I actually have a thing that, there we are. Oh, good, we're back on the reader. Okay, this one came out, what I found today, actually. The metaverse is really dangerous. Yes, yeah, when it comes to privacy. All according to attorney Jay Elderson. Now, we did have another link last week, I guess it was, from on metaverse law from a law firm. I think it was actually different from this. In fact, I'm sure it was. This is based at the Fast Company anyway, so a report from McKinsey and okay, well, lawyers are obviously getting their feet wet in the metaverse, so but obviously they're concerned mostly about privacy and things like that. Read this at thefastcompany.com, FASTCOMPANY.com, and oh, well, that's nice. That is a link to TechCrunch, who apparently are part of the Yahoo family. And let me see him. Okay, well, I was reading it earlier, but that's something interesting at TechCrunch, if you want it. Okay, editorial. Now, again, we're talking Skull Ghost period, and I showed you the clips before we started. Pico 4 is everything Quest 3 should be. Have Meta, or did Meta lose focus? And, yeah. Attractive lady and then less than attractive headset. I think that is a Quest, isn't it? Or is that? No, actually, it could be a Pico.
Yeah, it's a Pico.
Although it's getting good reviews, but it isn't. It still isn't what I would call. It's still what I think of as a helmet, So, but its performance is apparently top notch. Right, NVIDIA again. They've announced a connector for their virtual world called Omniverse. We already just saw you can get all those stuff to dump in your Omniverse. But they've got a connector that connects to the Unity software too. So if you don't want to go to that marketplace we looked at a second ago, then you can get stuff in and out of Unity from Omniverse. and they demoed that too. This article as well is at scarredghost.com, SKRREDGHOST.com. And finally, a link to VentureBeat, which is a section of GamesBeat. Neil Stevenson, who of course is the author of
Snow Crash.
Thank you, James. Snow Crash, yeah. And his world, Lamina One, have dropped a white paper on building the open metaverse. So really, this is just a link so that you know it's there, and you can actually follow through to Lamina One's site and actually download the white paper. Which is obviously it's a sort of blueprint for Lamina One, but also it's about building the open metaverse, and it obviously covers things that aren't specific just to Lamina One. Right, so that's the top of the list. I'm now scrolling to the bottom of the list to find out the ones I missed. Sound On we did. Did we do I'm not sure we did. Also, thescarredghost.com, SKARREDGHOST.com. We have the usual XR Wheat Peak. This was published at the beginning of the week. I think we covered this already, but the news it covers is from the week before. So, this is not last week, but the week before's news. But Scarred Ghost, always a good place for reviews, articles, and roundups. Spatial Beat, so it's AR Insider. I think we did these earlier on, didn't we? Yeah, okay. I've just got we did Science Space's new thing. Okay, that is fine then. So I will now pop back over here. How am I doing on time? Yeah, so not too badly. We've got about 5 minutes more. Okay. What is the Virtuality Theatre Festival? No, we did that one. Sorry, I'm right. This one is about a meta movie.
Listen up, I'm only going over this once, so pay attention. Sure has the most toxic blood in the galaxy, and these bastards are weaponizing her. We can't let that happen. So we're gonna break in and rescue her.
I'm not getting a good feeling about this.
Who are you? What the crap? Any way to get this? If something happens to one of us, the rest have to keep going.
Right, that I played because it's a curious sort of thing. You can get that on VR or desktop. But as a meta movie, or the meta movie as they call themselves, it's a sort of project where they're deliberately trying to combine cinema with VR and AR and all facets of interactivity. So it's not just a VR thing. It's not an actual movie done in VR. It's a bit of everything, and they call it the meta movie. They've got that one. They've got a few things that they've sort of published as well. Right now, let me see here. Okay. Back on the website, as you may know, I have a site at mastodon.social, mastodon.social /@Metaworld. And basically this is where we keep the broadcasts that other people do as embeds. From today, we have the latest edition of F Reality, talking about the Quest Pro and firewalls on PlayStation's thingy. That literally I did today, so I haven't previewed it in any way. Yesterday, the Wall Street Journal had part one. We showed a trailer for it earlier on how to build the metaverse part one. You can listen to it on Spotify, which is where I've embedded this. And they're looking back at 2 decades before companies like Meta began pouring billions of dollars into the metaverse. And guess what happened 2 decades ago? This little thing called Second Life appeared. So the first episode heavily features Phil Rosedale and various other things. But, over 5 episodes, I think it's 5, maybe 4, they're going to bring it all up to date. So, starting off the early metaverses, the metaverse that Phil built. That's a bit cheeky me. Okay, moving down, some other happened. Right, this will have been at the Galaverse conference I mentioned earlier. This was quite interesting. It's just called The Wellness of Web3. Krista, some guests there, interesting talk, and I think it was this one. Also, I think where you got the wellness comes from. They reference an old thing, an early thing on the web called the well.
Oh, wow,
Moving
that
down,
is old.
we have sorry.
That is old.
Yeah, it is old, but I mean they're referencing it. They're not going back in time. Charlie Fink and Ted Shilowitz's mixed thing this week. I think they did have a guest, but they haven't put it on anything there to remind me. No time to actually click on them and preview them, but obviously if you come to Mastodon, you can play them here, or you can actually click on the links and go straight through to YouTube. Or in fact, all these posts do appear on my Twitter feed as well, so you'll get them everywhere. Between Realities, featuring Tim Bettridge. This was at the end of the week. And a bit later than usual, but I did catch it. VR download 123, talking about Apple trademarks and Meta. Anything else exciting on that, James? I know you watched it.
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much covered already a lot on the Pico Neo, a little bit about Unreal Engine updates and NVIDIA's new graphic cards, which are very expensive, but you know, what is one to expect?
Yeah, price rises, of course. Okay, right. Another nice talk actually. It's actually number 46 of something called The Big Reveal. I don't know whether it's maybe the first she's done as a video. But a futurist, Amelia Kalman, again, you see a lot of her online, but quite intriguing here. Talking about all things future as well, but if I remember, there was a fair bit about the metaverse here.
I am looking forward to being a speaker at AWE in Lisbon, as well as...
Oh, self-promotion there, but actually it's not so long. That's only about 8 minutes, so you should find time to read that, view that, I should say. This one is 3WE. This is somebody talking about empowering creators for the open metaverse. This again was one of the sessions at Gatherverse Live that I mentioned earlier. And we were on law, weren't we? The Rose Law Group investigates the future of the metaverse law. This was a talk, as you can see on video, from looking at the future of metaverse law. That's the interviewer, a journalist, and she's actually a lawyer. It's good rabbit, so to speak. 5 days ago, where are we? The VR Crewcast again. Looking at PSVR 2 reactions and compatibility, the Pico announcement again from them, and Prey Dog Universal VR mod, whatever be that. And then we're down to the week before. So I have now covered everything, and they're having a quick look at the time here. Okay, I have got about 4 minutes or 4 or 5 minutes left. So I'm quite keen. No, this is 8 minutes. I'm just going to run this one. I can always cut it short. Interesting topic, really. This is I've got 2 here. I can't show the other one. It's 8 minutes, but it seems to be a series called "Created in Fortnite," about serious sort of metaverse implications, really.
My name's Sophie. People in the Fortnite community know me as Sophie X.
Oops.
Being a single mum of 3 can be quite challenging at times. But they're my world, so I do anything for them. My house is always crazy. Hang on, I can put it up for you. It's nice to be at home for my children. Anything they need, I'm just there. Careful. Put it on the side. Growing up, my mum worked a lot. Right, do you want to put a cheese string on each one? Yeah. So I was on my own. I wanted to be home for them because I think it's really important to have someone be there all the time. But I also wanted to be able to provide for my children. Come on then. And then I found a way. Building. I absolutely love it. is the takeaway from any stress that's going on. It's like I'm in my own little world and I can do anything. I've been playing Fortnite since about a week after it came out. I decided to start making maps because I used to watch a streamer and he used to play the maps, and I thought it would be funny to make one really hard so he couldn't do it. So I made that one, and then it just went from there. I've not always had a lot of friends. I keep to myself, but now I work with Kaya and we do all of our maps together. Me and Kaya created 30 maps in Fortnite. Hi. She lives in New York. It's crazy to think I'm working with somebody who lives on the other side of the world. To find somebody that I click with so well.
Oh, that's pretty. You could put it on grid too?
No, we're inseparable. There's a new device and, you know, like the VFX? Mm-hmm. It's heart, and you can choose 2 colors.
Oh, I just want to see what it's like with the brightness on 50.
We have so much fun when we're building. I have a really random idea.
Mm-hmm. That's every idea.
She's become my best friend ever.
Okay, I'm pausing it there. Very similar to some documentaries that have been done, you know, about Second Life, where they have similar things, but, you know, well-produced documentary series with the real people behind it. This one, what is this? Oh no, this is 6 minutes. Okay, Awe and Gadaverse together, and guess what? Charlie Fink's in there too. Flying into the metaverse through books and culture. I will hopefully show these. Right, and XR women flying into the metaverse. These are fairly short, but I can't show them today, basically, I'm afraid. Yeah, I think that's... No, that's long. Okay, I'm going to end with this pretty little piece here. This came... Hamlet Orr pointed this to me. Apparently it's in Second Life, but it could equally be open sim. It's about an avatar with his own micro universe, and you know, he can obviously scale it and do all sorts of things with it. And it's just enhanced by the music, I no doubt, but yeah. Whatever. Right, okay, well that's it. That is definitely it for this show. So I will just go back to where we started here. Grumpy old, yes, him. Right, James, any final thoughts?
No, I think we're good.
All right, good to go, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I am too, and if you're watching this channel live, possibly you are, in about 10 minutes' time, we'll be on there again with our in-world review. We'll be looking at a build, somebody's building a recreation of things in ancient Abyssinia in OpenSim, and we'll be looking at various OpenSim-based news and stuff like that too with Thursday, who's becoming a regular fixture these days. As far as the news is concerned, I'll forget all the palaver about we are and blah blah. From James and me, we too are saying good night, or good afternoon in his case, and we will be returning same time, same place next week. Bye for now.